Alright, yeah, so for whatever reason, when I click on here, it's not letting me see what y'all see while I'm on this. So I'm gonna have to trust that it is showing the right item. Anyway, let's bring over the website I was working on. And I'm not proud of it, y'all. I'm actually a little demotivated. I need some inspiration. So if you can help me out, shit Captain, Jay Howard, doing some UX UI design stuff here. And um, I did this website for this mock-up client, Dan Shooney. I just wanted to play with some gradients and some different text and really just get into some creativity. I don't feel like this shows, my highest level of creativity, probably a lot of frustration, but we got to be open and honest, right? So I'm gonna attack it in a different approach. I think I'm gonna do a landscapers page next, just for fun. Probably do some more apps and stuff, and I'm hopefully, you've seen some of my apps. Let me show you. I have um, some stuff on my portfolio I've played around with, and if you go to my just for fun, I'm a newbie, y'all, so take it light on me, right? You see, I've played with some different apps. I played with a website here, just some different colors, just to try to get my feet wet and just threw everything on one page, just kind of like a mind map to practice some other apps and stuff I was working on. Really boxy, really stuff that I'm trying to make sure I go in this direction here and be a little bit more, you know, um, style it just a little bit different. So yeah, so let's see here. So a lot of things I don't like. Um, I want this to be more clear and easily legible without the um, image behind it or the shape behind it. But I thought it was pretty creative, and then I like how the gradient kind of made it fade and disappear into the cloud. So I'm okay with that. Some of the font, um, and again, had to do it here. Just really wanted something to stand out coming out of those drops right there, right? So I put those in, and then I put that shape behind it. Let me see if I can get. And I want to get more organized when I do my layers. I know a lot of people they're so clean with group one, group two, excuse me, mid page, top page. So I want to get more clean how I do those. Just moving down. And some of this text is generic, and I just pulled it right out of thin air. So don't judge me on that. Wanted to get a little bit creative with how I did all of my how I treated my images that were inside of this website. Sorry about the noise in the background, guys. Um, how I did the effects and the drop shadows. So I try to get a little bit more creative here with its positioning, its blur, the spread, and its color scheme. And then I changed it on some of the other ones so you can see I'm just trying to kind of compare and contrast for myself so I know what I like, what I don't like, whatever the case may be moving forward. I think here I should have underlined this text, maybe put an arrow, made it look more like a link. I could have been more creative with the 01. I would have loved to have seen this larger and then have the text like bite out of the one. So I got some more research to do to figure out how to learn that technique. Let's talk about the background. Ideally, I've changed this background 1,000 times. Ideally, I wanted, one long wave image, and it just wouldn't work out for me. Then I thought about trying to blend the two. That really didn't work out for me either. I've learned some things now, but I didn't want to go back and change anything. So I'm again just being open and transparent of my struggles with this one. Um, so here you see another image. I got Dan kind of facing the sunrise. I'm sorry, sunset. Got some trophy stuff like that on the sand. Nice little view. And if you look at some of the, um, let's see if we can get a hold of it here. And then what I did again in the effects, I just did something a little bit different. I think I know why I can't click Dan. Where you at, Dan? Nope, don't want to lock that. Where is it? Where's that image at? Oh, right in my face. Okay. So I clicked off So again, the effects that I did on it here, um, and I think I saved a style when I did this one. So let me show you what all is in that style. I know what I did wrong. Multiple drop shadows, of course, focused in on the positioning, and that's what makes it look different. The hair. It does have a, if I zoomed in real close, you can see it does have a drop shadow, glow, whatever you want to call it, just a little bit more subtle. And I thought that looked cleaner for the page. But I don't know. I'm so used to seeing kind of a blurred drop shadow like that. I don't know. I don't. Just tell me what you think is wrong or right or whatever. And then I did it a little bit different here, and then I added a stroke to this one. Not a super big fan of it on this site, but because it just gave that boxy. If you look at like the images and then the stroke, I don't know. Again, I could have been more creative with the numbers. The storyline is cool. I mean, if you're into that, the call, the climb, the break, um, So here is where I was tapping out, right? Anywhere from the sponsors, dealing with the vectors and how they were separating and had to create them as components. I'm sure there's a much better way, but try to just close out with something. And I could not fight through the color of these texts, just really trying to blend in the stroke, the drop shadows, just all of the effects. And it made it look really cartoony. Like it took us from this website about Dan, and his accomplishments and, something that people are going to see that kind of tell his story, as they click through his partnerships, etc. And then it got really childish to me down here. All right. So give me some tips. What ways do you think, what type of font do you think I could have used in this section? Color schemes. Could I have done away with my stroke? Yeah, let me know what you think. I'm posting this, of course, on all platforms, so feel free to, comment, message me, tell me it sucks. I already know, but yeah, looking for some inspiration so I can move on to the next project. So that's all I got. Thanks.